Hello, everybody. 2 in a row. Look, I'm doing it. I'm getting back to it. I hope everyone has had a great week. This is episode number something of the Nobody Asked for This podcast. Episode number 2 back since our little break, our little hiatus. You know, here's the thing. Every show takes a break. I mean, even Grey's Anatomy takes a break. That's actually the first time I learned that, like, shows just aren't on forever is Grey's Anatomy, which is ironic because Grey's Anatomy is a show that has been on forever. But I specifically remember I was probably around 7 years old. So maybe 6, maybe 8. But it was very, early seasons Grey's Anatomy. Now, you might be wondering, why were you watching Grey's Anatomy at 6, maybe 7, maybe 8? I don't know. It was just sort of the content that I was into. You could say I was ahead of the curve, because about 10 years after that, everyone started watching Grey's Anatomy from the beginning. And I could be like, well, actually, I was watching this in 2006. So, not to brag, but I'm pretty cool. Also, yes, that show has been on since I've been in kindergarten, and I have been out of college for about 3 or 4 years. So that's just how long. There are people who had probably no aspirations of being a doctor when the show started that have now gone through the entire run of medical school and whatever training you need. I don't know the whole process of how to become a doctor because, again, know thyself, and thy is not a doctor, unfortunately, nor should I be. So it's actually not that unfortunate. It would be more unfortunate if I was a doctor or thought I could be, because then it would just be a huge waste of time, or I would be able to kind of scam my way into the doctoral system to the point of not being able to be a proper medical provider. There is a ginormous truck backing up in the parking lot in which I record. Why is there a truck in my recording studio, you ask? I don't know. Anyway, how I learned that shows take summer breaks is it was about to be the summer, and I was watching Grey's Anatomy trying to figure out if someone was I can't remember who it was, but there was a character who was having an operation, which, I mean, probably doesn't narrow it down, but it was one of the main characters who was, I believe, sick in the show, and it was time for her surgery or whatever, and they were wheeling her off into surgery, and I was so nervous, as if I had an actual family member who was experiencing this, as if I was in the show. And then it cut off, and I said, well, I guess Mom will have to wait till next week. And she goes, no, it's done. I'm like, what do you mean it's done? She's like, it doesn't come back till September. I vividly remember that. And I was mad. I was mad, I was angry, I was hurt. I didn't really have access to the internet, so that I couldn't really Google any, I don't know if there was spoilers necessarily, but, I had no outlet. So I just sat till September. And again, I was 6, maybe 7, maybe 8, so I probably forgot. I don't actually remember what happened to that poor character, or if I even continued watching the show, because I don't watch it. I never really, I wasn't week to week, but for that one season, for whatever reason, I got really invested as a 7-year-old. So, there's that. Anyway, welcome to the Nobody Asked for This podcast. We are officially in December. It is the holiday season for all the holidays. And I always wonder if that's a coincidence that all of the holidays happen at the same time. I don't know. Excuse me, I don't know what to make of that, but is what it is. And yeah, I've been trying to get into the holiday spirit. I've been trying to seek out those, our favorite movies that we watch. I'm not talking about like Home Alone, Elf, even though I do love both of those. I'm talking about those Hallmark movies, like the best. Here's the thing. I'm kind of a poser because I'll talk about how much I love these movies and how much, they're the best, but then I don't ever really watch them, to be fair. And when I do, I'm not really able to finish them, is the problem. I'm great at starting movies. I'm not so great at finishing movies. There have been films, I kid you not, that have taken me years to finish. Like, I'll start it one year, I'll watch about 30 minutes, especially like a holiday movie. I'll watch about half an hour, fall asleep. Maybe the next day I'll watch another 10 minutes, fall asleep. And then a whole year will pass, and I'll see it on my, like, continue watching thing. And I'm like, oh, shoot, I never finished that movie. And I won't go back to the beginning because I've already seen it. So I just start from, like, 45 minutes in. And then I'm usually able to, like, either through Googling or through just, like, whatever memory I have left with whatever brain cells showed up that day, I'm able to sort of know what's happening. It's kind of like my grasp of the French language. I took French in school for like 12 years, 11 years, whatever it was. And I can't speak French, but I can understand French if someone speaks very slowly and use words that I know. So it's kind of like I know the plot of those films as well as, or as much as I know the French language. So that is the comparison, the simile or whatever metaphor that I would use. But yes, I hope to really get into the holiday spirit. I have the decorations up. As I've shared before, I've had my Christmas tree up essentially all year round. It did come down from about July to September, which weren't great months for me. So I think it was the lack of Christmas spirit. So I'm not taking any more chances, y'all. Like, I'm keeping my Christmas tree up 24/7. Because here's the thing. You think you're in a good place and you can take your Christmas tree down, and then, it takes a turn for the worst. And then you have to do like a month off of your podcast hiatus. But then you put the Christmas tree back up and it's like, okay, things are turning around. So if I leave you with any message today, if you've learned anything from me, it's don't tempt fate, keep your Christmas tree up. Which is a stunning title for this podcast. Let me write that down. One sec. Sage advice, really. Oh my gosh, everybody, I'm reading a non-fiction book. One sec. I can only do one thing at a time. Don't tempt fate. Keep your Christmas tree up. Okay. Tree up. Perfect. Nope. Not keep your Christmas tree 70. Perfect. Okay. I'm happy with that. What was I talking about? Yes, I'm reading a nonfiction book. I don't want to give it away because watch I never finish it, or I'll like restart it next year. But when I'm done, I'll give a full review of this book that I'm reading. So that was a teaser. Oh, update on my New Year's resolution. It hasn't happened yet. Quick recap. Anyone that doesn't know, my New Year's resolution for 2025, which I can't believe we're running out of time for, was to make a yogurt bowl from scratch, meaning make yogurt, make granola, and make peanut butter. I did predict that I would do it last week of December, and I feel like that, it's either happening the last week of December or we're just going to have to move that to 2026. Which, here's the thing, there's nothing wrong with a shuffle, okay? As long as you get it done by, like, the absolute, like, max deadline, you're fine. There are so many things. If you look at my, like, agenda thing at work, there are so many, action items, let's call them, that are written on my list for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and they're finally crossed off on Friday. As long as you get it done. That's all you need. It's completion. It's really quantity over quality at this point. How you survive life is understanding that sometimes, well, first of all, how you survive is don't tempt fate, keep your Christmas tree up. Second, how you survive is accepting quantity over quality. Sometimes the quality has to go out the window just for you to check it off the list and move on. Not that I'm encouraging mediocrity, but listen, sometimes you just gotta let go. Every once in a while. Anyway, I just ripped a huge piece of my beard out. I've been doing that a lot. If anyone has any tips on how to not, pull out my own beard, it's just like it's just like a bad habit. I'll be in traffic and I'm just picking, and then it's I have a huge clump of hair in my hand. That's really gross. I'm sorry that I shared that. Anyway, unfortunately, we have reached the time of year where it is necessary to have this scraper thing in my car to scrape off the ice. What is the science behind that? For anyone that doesn't live in a climate where it gets cold enough to have to do that, or if you are in a colder place but you park in a garage or something, you've really figured it out, because having to get up in the morning and essentially do a HIIT workout trying to get my car safe enough to drive because for some reason the air made it icy. How does that work? How, if your car was not wet at all and it just got really cold, how is the windshield icy? Is ice not just frozen water? So if there's no water, if it hasn't rained, it's just really cold. How is my windshield, how and why and where and who is my windshield icy? I'm going to Google that. I need a chart or something. Okay, everyone, let's go into Google. Let's do this together. Why do windshields get icy? Due to impact. Oh, wait, no. I spelt it wrong. Windshields get icy from moisture freezing on the surface, which can happen on the outside or the inside. Oh, that's the worst when you're oh, is this on the inside or the outside? And then one time, my windshield was so icy, but I didn't have time because I was, of course, running late. And so I just got water and from my tap water or whatever, from the hose, and sprayed it down, which worked for all of 5 seconds because it was still icy outside. So what I know to be true is that ice, when it's in a cold temperature, freezes into water. So it cleared my windshield completely. I thought I was a genius. And then as I was driving, the streaks of water started themselves freezing, and it made it worse. Which is sort of a theme of my life. It's I try, I think I'm being smart, and I make it worse. It's a 3-prong response. Step 1, try. Step 2, feel pride that you think you did it right. And then step 3, you actually made it worse. Not to be negative, that happens a lot. As I'm sure I've documented on the past 100 and whatever episodes of the Nobody Asked for This podcast. Oh, that's lots of birds. Okay, I have one more sort of thought, and I might explore this in another episode, so I'm just going to, again, just put out a little teaser. What happened to hamsters? What happened to them? I feel like for a while, everyone had a hamster. All my friends had hamsters. The class pet was a hamster. There were cartoons about hamsters. I have not heard, seen, caught wind of a hamster in years. Is it maybe that I'm just like, they're just no longer in my social circle? Do I not have a social circle? Like, do people still own hamsters is what I would like to know. And then also, where were they coming from? Are they just domesticated like rats? In which case, like, if there's a rat in your house, people freak out. And I get it. I've been there. Actually, there is an episode. Yeah, I think there is an episode where I talk about how there was a mouse in my house. So we can go back and listen to that. But I'm sure I was very not dramatic about it. But really thinking of it, isn't a hamster just a rat? So, like, why are we okay with hamsters and not rats? I don't know. Again, this is a whole other episode. But I think we should all... Question of the week, what happened to hamsters? Like, everyone really sit and think and meditate about when was the last time you saw a hamster? Because I'm confused. All I'm going to say. And I'm going to leave you with that. So, I hope everyone has a great week. If you like what you heard, you can go to podcastnobodyaskforthis.podbean.com. On there, you can listen to all of our episodes. You know, do a deep dive, because why wouldn't you want to? And, I really appreciate you listening. Happy to be back. Full steam ahead. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye.